Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one and only Just David. It's Saturday. Welcome in. How is everybody doing? We have a lot going on today. A lot. Some weeks are slow, some weeks are busy. We're gonna do let's do a little New Jersey. Let's talk a little Denise Richards, but lots of gossip. Andy Cohen seems to have a lot to say this week. She's in a mood, that one. But let's start with Beverly Hills, guys. What everyone think of this episode? The reunion, they just filmed the reunion. But let's start. So it starts, and Bose is at home, and she made lemongrass tea for her daughter, whose name I forget. And she found the lemongrass in the canister, and the daughter says, yuck, but she drinks it anyway. You gotta love these opening shots. You always gotta pay attention to the opening shots. They will tell you what type of show it is gonna be, ladies and gentlemen. And we learn Jade, Garcelle's son, got his comp card. He is ready to walk. And Ariba is a coming. Sutton is on the phone with Ariba, and she is booking her flight. And everything is going well. Well, Kathy Hilton is back. She is on the screen, and she is in the car with Kyle. And she says, "How are you doing?" And Kyle starts talking about Mo, and she's shocked. She's shocked about the woman. We all remember when this happened, right? And Kathy says, wait, how are you? And Kyle is like, well, you're referring to the pictures of Mo, right? And Kathy was like, yeah, but I just didn't want to bring it up first. Pure sister humor and sisterly love. Well, Kyle admits that she is speechless. What did you think was going to happen, girl? I mean, look, they address it. Like, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, she is out there. She is, look, Kyle is in love, guys. She's in love. She's in love with Morgan, and now Mo is out there, and he's experiencing life too. So I don't know what she thought was going to happen, but she says that she's speechless and that he can do what he wants. She has mixed feelings. Well, girl. I understand. You were married to the guy for 27 years, but it's over. I mean, you want the good news or do you want the bad news? It is over. Let's do a little best highlights when we're done talking about the episode anyway. Well, um, you know, she's like, listen, is Mo gonna be, I thought this was interesting. She wonders if he's gonna be less nice to her now because he has the new person. It is the new person gonna say, like, I don't want you being that close to your ex-wife. Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, if you're actually falling in love. Look, Kyle is in a very unique situation where Morgan, she don't care. She lets Kyle invite Mauricio over and go on vacation. Whoever Mauricio was with, whatever young lady he finds, and props to him. They're all going for the early 30s. You got to give some of these guys credit, right, for going for the early 30s. I mean, they could go for 19, right? But yeah, Kyle, that's what's going to happen when Mauricio has to what he is falling in love. They're going to say, you seem to put your ex-wife. Look, who is Mauricio really going to fall in love with, right? I mean, uh, if you really think about it, Kyle will always come first. The kids will always come first. So maybe he'll end up like those Oppenheim brothers, that Jason and Brett, where it ain't gonna last. They're just out for a good time. The Peter Pans are in the house. I mean, listen, if Jason was gonna fall in love with anyone, it would have been Chriselle, right? Like, I mean, forever. So after that, everyone's fair game. So Mauricio is probably not gonna settle down with anyone anytime soon. But Hal says, look, it's none of my business who Mauricio is with, right? It really isn't. And he can do whatever he wants. And, anyone else watching this scene in the car and thinking like this Kathy Hilton, right? This Kathy Hilton, she's got to be loving this. She has to be loving this. You could spin this any way you want, but let's just be honest. Kathy ain't over what Mauricio did. And I'm saying did with air quotes because, two sides to every story. It all is fair in love and war and business. But Kathy, let's just say, isn't she secretly enjoying this just a little bit? Like Mauricio is finally gone. And by the way, I love the way Kathy calls him Maurice. You just gotta love this Kathy, right? Well, Yeah. Anyway, now but I think she's loving it. She's like, Rick and I wanted this guy out of my sister's life for decades. Finally, we get what we want. Now we go to, we see Erika Jayne, and she is just loving her decorations, and she is getting her razzle dazzle back, as she explains to us. And Sutton is excited. She's making more plans for Reba to arrive, but Erica's new pad is unveiled. Mr. Martin Lawrence Bouillard should really re-air our chat with Martin Lawrence, but he has done, look, he's done a good job on the limited budget that she had of 37,000, and it don't look bad. It don't look bad, right? It's interesting. It's interesting. Maybe not all. There was one light I really liked. It was like that palm tree light. Maybe not my style, but I think they did a good job. Right now, we have Kathy and Kyle. They're going to get breast cancer, checked for breast cancer. You always really, forget that they lost their mom at a young age, but Kyle reminds us. And if only her mother had gone earlier, she might still be alive today. So this is very important, and they're going. And of course, Kathy has to ask who has the bigger boobs, me or Kyle. And they got a clean bill of health, so that's good. But while they're getting checked for the breast cancer, Kyle lets us know I know my husband, well, my soon to be ex husband, because there's going to be an inevitable divorce, and Mo has got to be freaking out. He's got to be freaking out. And he hasn't texted. That's why he's freaking out. And Kathy says, look, he is a single guy for all intents and purposes. And Kathy, Life Lessons by Kathy Hilton. You guys really have to find this show. Was on NBC, and it was because of the success of The Simple Life. But it was like How to Become a Hilton. I think that was the name of it. And it was all about etiquette and life lessons from Kathy. It was in the early aughts when The Simple Life was on. It was Kathy Hilton. It was like one of those like apprentice style design competitions where someone would get eliminated and Kathy would pick a winner of like, you are now ready to become a Hilton. It was called like Who Wants to Be a Hilton. So everyone should really find this show. Life Lessons by Kathy Hilton. Well, today we get a life lesson in this episode. She lets us know it's when people are really quiet. That tells you a lot. Well, apparently, according to Kyle, Mauricio is quiet because he is freaking out. And Kyle lets us know she's going to do something. And I really actually thought this was a real moment. Kyle, who we understand Morgan, quote unquote, doesn't want to be on the show. Let's do our air quotes for that. So there's no Morgan. There's no mention of Morgan by Kyle. Although next week's episode, Garcelle seems to be still obsessed with fucking Morgan. But Kyle's like, I'm going to do something. And I thought this was a very honest moment, unlike a lot of things we got from Kyle this season. She goes and she takes wife off of her bio. We all remember when this happened because it was picked up by the bloggers. And Kyle and Kathy let us know that Mauricio has taken husband and dad off of his. Still a father, of course, but all he has is CEO of the agency. Kyle cannot wait